Hello guys, welcome back to another video. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be using the new Arrtx SimTap markers. They sent me the 48 and 36 set. This marker does have a brush tip and a chamber that you need to click to activate the paint. If you're not careful and press hard, you'll see that some paint will spill out, but it's okay, it's just a learning curve. Here you can see me swatching a few of the colors. The paint is very opaque, and that's just common within the Arrtx line of markers. I'm really obsessed with them. Isn't that gold so pretty? Sheesh. But that's the complete swatch sheet with all the colors. Aren't they all so pretty? Okay, now we're pulling out my sketchbook. I did pre-make all of the drawings just so it'd be ready for the video. And as you can see, today's theme, we're going to be drawing characters from the anime Ranma 1/2. And to be specific, we're going to be drawing characters from the reboot version that they released on Netflix. I grew up watching the original one and I loved it. But this new reboot Netflix version is so good. And if you're an artist, you can definitely appreciate the remake because it's very pop art. It's so many different colors, it's contrasting. I can just say that I really love it, and I hope you guys love it too. And as you can see, I'm using the markers. The markers are doing so well. There's no streakiness, it's pretty leveled, and you can see how opaque it is. And what's really nice about having a brush tip and not a bullet nib, in my opinion, like other brands, is that you can get different strokes with the line, especially when you're doing line art. It is a little hard because it is a bigger brush nib, but if you just have good control, you can get a pretty thin line and a good thick line. One thing that I do like about this new line is that because it has an ink chamber and more paint comes out, the white is more opaque. You can cover mistakes with the white paint and you will most likely not see any other colors pop through. So I love the update in that with these new markers. I also love their standard markers, the ones they first came out with, but the white marker in that set, because you know you don't get to control how much ink comes out, it's just you get what you get. The white is not opaque at all. So this red is so good. This is like the smoothest, creamiest red ever. I really enjoyed painting with this marker. It was probably my favorite color to use out of the whole set. On to a new topic. I need your guys' help real quick because when I'm editing, I'm wondering if you guys like these videos with real time and cuts in between, or do you guys want a time lapse where it goes really fast and you see the whole process without any cuts? It is a lot more work for me to do the cuts, but I honestly prefer that than the time lapse. But if you guys like the other way around, which is just a time lapse, I'm happy to do it. So just let me know in the comments down below what you prefer. Help me help you, you know? Another thing, if you guys like this kind of video where I'm drawing characters from a show that you guys like, an anime, arcane or anything, let me know down below and I can draw them and upload a video, and maybe I can do like a paint tutorial with Arrtx markers. That would be fun, wouldn't it? And speaking on arcane, because I mentioned it a second ago, I freaking love the show, and because I love the show, I started making a bunch of shorts based on the show, like with audio, and drawing them with the standard Arrtx marker set that I bought on my own. And I've got a lot of new subscribers from those videos. Some of them kind of popped off, and I'm just so grateful if you found this channel through those videos. And I think I have a big love for Arrtx because in this sketchbook that I'm drawing, I've been using them a lot more, and I feel like my artistic ability has grown because of them. I just have felt more free with all the colors. And also I drew some pictures from the movie Wicked, and one of the videos has been my biggest viewed short ever with 21,000 views. I am so overwhelmed and I'm so grateful. I feel like my YouTube has grown a lot. I mean, I was at 1,000 at the beginning of the year, and now I'm at 2,450, and that's such a big accomplishment. So if you guys are new subscribers or old subscribers from the beginning, I'm so grateful that you're here and watching this video. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without you guys, let alone receive markers from Arrtx. So I'm so grateful for all of your support. Going back to the theme on Ranma, did you guys grow up watching Ranma like I did? Because I loved the dub version of Ranma, because the initial voice actor for Ranma, his voice was so perfect for the role, but then later they had to change it. And it was actually the voice actor of Inuyasha. And I think that's so awesome because the creator made Ranma one half and Inuyasha. So I thought that even though it was sad that we lost the old voice actor, that Inuyasha got to be the voice actor of this character, and I thought that was super fun. Another fun thing when you're watching anime or reading a manga of a certain artist and you see all their different storylines and universes is that you see how the characters are different, but they also look the same. A good example is watching all the Ghibli movies. Like, you can see that they're related, but they're different, but the same at the same time. Going back to the Arrtx markers, because you see here I clicked the marker and then paint flooded. It is kind of annoying because if you do click too much, you will have constant overflow of ink coming out. But I see that in a good way sometimes if you're like feeling like a big empty background and you need to fill up a lot of space with color. I do find that helpful, but you really need to be careful on how you click the end because it's very sensitive, and if you click too hard, too much ink will come out. And that's done. Ranma is done, and now we're starting on Akane. You guys, I have mixed feelings on Akane because I do like how she is a strong character within herself, you know, like girl power. It's awesome. But she annoys me so much because she's so mean to Ranma. Most of the time, you know, we do catch Ranma in, you know, sketchy situations, but she never lets him talk and explain himself. And that makes me so mad because most of the time he is innocent and then she smacks him or do something mean to him, and I get so upset for Ranma. Another thing, in the reboot, I like her character design a lot more than the original one. Like, her long hair looks so pretty. Like, she looks so cute and girly in this version of Ranma. And even when she has to get her hair cut short, she looks super girly. And in the post to the old one, you know, she still looked like a girl, obviously, but she was a little more tomboyish. And I like that in the reboot, she's more feminine. Okay, going back to reviewing the markers, what I like about these markers is that, like I mentioned in the beginning, you can see how the marker is so opaque and it covers that orange pencil mark that I left behind just to demonstrate how much the paint does cover. In some colors, it's less opaque than others, but as you can see here with this blue color, once I put in a second layer, all that orange markings were gone. Another thing to note is that make sure you do shake the marker really well before you click to release the ink, because sometimes the pigment will separate. And I don't know if you guys noticed, when I put in that first layer of the dark blue, some of the ink was separated. And that can also happen when it's in the chamber once you've already released it. So just make sure that you shake it well. And also what I recommend is having like a scrap piece of paper on the side, just to make sure that, again, there's no overflowing ink, and making sure that the color that you're gonna lay down on paper is the correct color you want, because again, sometimes the pigment can separate. One thing I want to note on these markers is that they do have a few flaws in the design. Like I mentioned, pigment separating, and if you click too hard, too much ink will come out, and those things are kind of a little annoying. But also you have to think on the price point of these markers. For the set of 48, it's $44.99, as opposed to, let's say, Posca, you get 8 paint markers and it costs $19.97. So if you're like an artist on a budget, these are things that you can consider when purchasing these markers. I honestly you can manage the few flaws that the Arrtx markers have, and you know, it's just a learning curve. I honestly would say that you get more bang for your buck with the Arrtx if you have the patience to just have that learning curve. Another thing that I like to note is that Posca markers usually have bullet nibs and the Arrtx markers have brush tips, which I love because, again, more control. You can also have thinner lines or thicker lines if you want. Another thing is that when you press down on the Posca pens, you have to press down on the paper, and I don't know, I find that annoying, and the click is a little bit better, but again, there's pros and cons to everything. But at the end of the day, if you ask me, do I want to spend money on Posca, do I want to spend money on Arrtx? Me, because I'm a penny pincher and the quality of Arrtx markers are really good, I would go with Arrtx markers. I just love how, because the brush tip is bigger than their standard Arrtx markers, is that I can cover the background a lot quicker. I love filling up the pages with color, and it's just fun when you flip through the sketchbook and you see so many different colors. And just like that, Akane is done, and now we're moving on to the next drawing. Don't they look so pretty together? Sheesh. Okay, so now we're going to be doing Ranma in his female form. I think it's so funny how Ranma likes to bag on Akane, saying that he has a better figure than her when he's in a girl form, and that he's just a competition for her, and I just think that's hilarious. And he likes to hold on to his manliness, but then when he has a shot, he will shoot his shot and be mean when he can. It's just funny. Another thing I want to note is that with the reboot, Ranma's female form, like his hair is more pink, like more pastel. And I just think that that's like the overall vibe of the reboot. Again, it's poppy, but then the color scheme is very pastel as well. And I hope that once they're done making this anime, that they come out with an art book, because I would 100% buy that. Another thing, I also like that in the show, the characters do change their outfits a lot, and most animes don't do that. They wear the same outfit, which I understand. It's easier to draw, it's easier to animate, but I really appreciate that Akane wears different outfits. You know, Ranma wears different outfits when he's a girl and a boy. So I just like that little attention to detail. Like, look at this overall. Isn't it so cute? I just think all the outfits they wear in this show are so cute. I would personally wear them all, so except the very exposed ones, obviously, but overall I'd wear all their outfits. One thing I do struggle with paint markers is that because they're so opaque, is that you don't see the sketch underneath. So once you paint over it, you don't see the lines anymore, and you might forget a certain detail. So what I figured out that I like doing is that sometimes I'll outline it with black, because black is a little harder to cover up. So I'll outline it with black and then put the color on top, and then, you know, kind of layer back and forth until it's clean and crisp. But that's a strategy that I like doing when it comes to painting with markers. So recently someone asked me, how do you come up with content for your YouTube or all of your shorts that you upload? And one thing that I realized that I do is that I like using references a lot, which most people do, but some people love making their OCs, which I eventually want to get to doing. But because I am teaching myself how to draw, I love using references, like drawing already drawn characters. I like copying what I see, because that is giving me a sense of like I'm learning from someone who already knows how to draw. Like when I was making my arcane drawings, that was super fun because you got to see their color theory on how they paint everything, how they color their characters, you know, how sharp they draw the faces or their hair, or you just see different techniques in other creators' work. So I always do recommend, draw from a reference, and you can record your learning process of that. So that's technically where I am right now, where I am learning from others, and then eventually I feel I'm gonna get to a point where I don't need those, references as much anymore, and I'll be able to make my OCs and just be more confident in my own art. And everyone starts from somewhere. We're all at different levels. Some people tell me, how do you get so good? Like, girl or boy, I was not good. Like, I don't know if anybody has watched my previous videos, but I did go to art school in high school and I didn't pursue it in college. But drawing people, bodies, portraits, I was so bad at. Like, I could draw buildings and I can draw objects and animals, but drawing people, never. And now that's all I draw. All I draw are portraits. And if you go farther, like if you go down in my videos, you can see that they weren't so great in the beginning, but persistence is key, practice is key. Also art is objective, so don't stress yourself out too much and just have fun with the process. Okay, and because of my rambling, I didn't notice that we started working on Shampoo. I love Shampoo's character design. I love her little space buns, her little dangly pieces in the front. She is so annoying though. I hate how she's always getting in between Ranma and Akane, but you have to admire her persistence. It's also really funny how she hates female Ranma and loves male Ranma. I just think that he just can't catch a break. Also, I love Shampoo's character design in the new one. She was always feminine in the old version, but in the remake, she's way more cuter in this remake. Like, she was already cute and now she's even cuter. Sheesh. Also, her purple hair is just so cute. Makes me want to get purple hair too. Here is a perfect demonstration when the ink overflows in the marker tip, and you should follow the advice, grab a piece of scrap paper and kind of make sure that there's no ink overflowing in the brush nib so you don't have a mistake like that. Okay, and just like that, female Ranma and Shampoo are done. These drawings came out so cool. I am so fascinated with how vibrant these colors are. The drawings look like they were printed out of a printer. I am so proud of them. And thank you Arrtx for sending them. If you guys made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Links for the markers will be in my description box down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!